Hey folks, we're going to continue working on artwork for the upcoming supplement that we're going to be publishing online called Spelljammer Combat and Exploration. So we've been building this for the past year. I am tentatively excited that we'll be publishing in January. So let me check my signal here real quick, make sure we're coming through. I'll get through my intro, and then we'll get to work here for like 100 minutes or so. See where that leads us. So hold on here real quick, checking my signal. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Quick, checking my. Hey, thanks a lot. Okay, good. Let's see. Let me check all my buttons here real quick to make sure we are up and running. Okay, and okay, so I'm going to go through my intro spiel. For those that are checking us out in the future, hey, future us, you can skip forward a minute if you want to skip my intro stuff. But for everyone here in the now with me, hey, thanks a lot for being here. My name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish them online. I've been focusing my attention on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for the past 5 years, and there are a slew of links that I have in the description down below for you to take a look at the work that I've done before. It's all 100% free preview, so you can check out the stuff if you think it's cool. Would love to have you invest in my efforts to create more stuff like this in the future as well. If you're here for artwork, there's probably about 150 different illustrations across the various works that are just linked down below, not including the other 90 some odd things that that my artwork has been included in down there as well. If you are instead here for D&D stuff, then thanks a lot for checking out my stuff. I run 5th edition. As a DM, I run a 1 to 20 level campaign for about 200 to 250 hours. And then we start over again. So the things that I create and publish online are things that I have found useful for me running my own 20 level campaigns, and I just want to have that stuff available for everyone else to make use of as well. So if you want to support the channel, a great way to do so, I just posted that I'm live on Twitter, so if you want to get notifications on when I'm live in the future, you too can follow me at Phil Kearney on Twitter X platform. But liking, subscribe, and hitting the bell icon is the absolute best way to help support the growth of the channel, which is greatly appreciated. Our first major milestone here is 500 subscribers, and we've picked up yet another subscriber. So thanks a lot, guys. Really, really appreciate everyone taking an interest in what it is that we're doing here. So this book cover that we have here, we created this back around episode 15, so you can check the Wayback Machine in our playlist here for Spelljammer to see us creating that book cover. Otherwise, we create role-playing games, we illustrate them, we publish them online. So we'll play test something inside of a game. Depending on the scope of the project, I can recruit other people to play things in the raw so that they have no experience with the systems or my DMing, and go in and explore the ideas of this. If it comes out cool, we'll hire an editor to do text cleanup. When the editor comes back with the final language that, like, here, say things this way. Like, okay, cool. Then we'll drop all the individual ideas onto pages so that each page has, the information is bite-sized, so you can digest each little bit. And once we have all the text laid out so it's in a digestible format, I'm waiting for my thing to zoom because I'm trying to be dramatic and demonstrative, but it's absolutely not playing along with me today. Here we go. Let's do that. All right, so we can take each individual page that we're working on, such as here, export it as a PDF, import it into Photoshop here, and then we can illustrate. So that's where we're at right now. We're illustrating this page. When it's finished, and all the pages are finished, we'll be able to drop each of them into the Word document. I literally use MS Word for my layout program. It's for me, it's cheap and it's highly versatile. It requires a lot of manual manipulation. It doesn't automate things well for page layouts like InDesign or Affinity may, but the level of individual control of placement is really precise. So I like using this as my weapon of choice. And once this is all done, we'll seal it up into a PDF, and we'll drop it onto the DMsGuild, and there'll be a link that you will be able to look at a full preview. So without further ado, we are going to continue diving through here. So we've been working on the buildings in this community, and I'm really happy with how they're all turning out. This is just it's turning out really well. It's we've been working at this here on stream for 2 weeks, and I think the results are absolutely coming along nicely. So I'm just going to keep on keeping on with this. And let's see, we're currently working over here on this structure here. I'm going to work this railing here real fast. Place a bip there, and then go to bip, and then bip. Bip, there you go, railing. Very nice. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I got a timer going. It's going to pop in 10 minutes, and I'm going to start over with 20-minute blocks. Got about 100 minutes ahead of us. Oh, God bless you, God of coffee. You know what? I'm going to just go ahead and start the timer over now. We're at, what, 6:18 here in Seattle? So we'll be able to end right around 8 o'clock. Let's see. I stream 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday in the mornings like this. I work on Spelljammer Art specifically, and on Mondays and Thursday nights, including tonight, we work on creature token production for the Eberron adventure that we've been crafting. And hey, Karen, it's good to see you. Let's see. I also I want to put that back in there, and I feel like I want to darken up that railing a touch. You know, no big secret here. It's taking a little bit longer than I want. Isn't that just always the case? I always want things done now. So I understand the compulsion to use AI art from people. Is like, I could spend 20 hours or 40 hours on this painting, or I could press a button and we're good to go. It's just, I can't do it. I just love artwork too much. I can't switch to AI. It may be infinitely faster for me to operate in that medium, but at the end of the day, I love doing the art, the fulfillment, the satisfaction, the sense of pride that I get from creating works that I'm proud of is worth all of the slow grind to me. It's just, I love it, just love it. So we got these doors that we're putting in. We're gonna have to keep in mind that's too big. This is our scale right now. Look at me. This is our scale. Good. What was I talking about? I feel like I was talking about something. I completely lost it. Karen, how you doing today? Let me just touch grass with folks and say hey. Boom. 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 Wop wop. We've got 9 more paintings after this one, and then we'll be done with illustrations. Amazingly enough, kind of excited about it. It's a transition, and I feel like the product is ready to make that transition. It'll be an emotional shift for me, moving out of. God, I've been cracking out artwork for this thing literally for a year. It is the biggest project I have ever worked on, and I am just upset that my perspective here is off. Hold on, let me fix my shit. This project is absolutely building my endurance. Let's cover all that up. As far as I can tell, the edits for the Eberron adventure that we create tokens for on Mondays and Thursday nights, including this week. Hey, I'll be here later on tonight too. As far as I can tell, that's all pretty much resolved. So there's 3 acts. The last act is a 75 by 75 square dungeon with like I think 17 different regions, and of course a final boss fight and blah blah blah. But that is to say, it looks like we're looking really, really good. That once we finish this project and we publish the Spelljammer supplement, we'll be ready for the Eberron project to step forward into the morning slots here Monday through Friday for us to do page layouts, adventure, like to break up the text into bite-sized pieces on each page, and for us to start doing layouts to see how we can have the break up the dungeons that we've been creating and organize them onto pages with the descriptions and all the mechanics and stuff that we're describing for the adventure. So that is going to be a hard shift for me, like a heavy gear shift. It's not hard for me to do that. It's a colloquial term for severe. It'll be a severe switch in content that we're producing. This is ultimately what it's going to come down to is we're going to be doing page art for the adventure instead of doing page art for the Spelljammer supplement. So it's Eberron, so it's a different setting, different campaign world, different attitude, and I am excited about it. Once here, hold on real quick. Let's make sure we're on the up and up here with these lines. And so, since Eberron will be moving into the Monday through Friday morning slot, that opens up our Monday and Thursday slot. Currently, we've been building the Martial Powers project at lunch times on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, and we'll be doing. We've started doing the preliminary work on. That's the royal we, of course. I've been working on the hex crawl map portion of the Martial Powers playtest that we will be running on one of those days that we free up in the evening, or possibly on Saturday, running a playtest. It'll just be a hex crawl West March style campaign. I'm really excited and looking forward to it at this point. It's we started doing the preliminary work on the map randomizer, and the map works great with the color mana system for color lands, being the different hexes that the different areas that you move into during the crawl are all driven by the color of land that the characters are occupying. And we're in the process of I am in the process of coming up with, I keep using the royal we, I don't know what's wrong with me. But we're building out the mechanics for the for how the hex crawl will work. It looks like Ranger is going to be actually a really strong pick for people to go with, because the time it takes to transition from one color to another on the map is considered difficult terrain, unless you have a Ranger on board that is focused. Has exploration focus on the color of mana that you are that the team is moving into. So having a Ranger there to make it easy to move from area to area, super useful. But I'll have a lot more details about that once this project drops off our plate and Eberron moves to the mornings. That'll give us design space for us to be able to develop, both continuing to develop the content for the Martial Powers book itself, but to be able to continue feeding in the playtest that we'll run on a weekly basis, most likely a weekly basis, from level 3 to 7. I've been testing it at my home table from level 12 to 20 for the past 9 months. And at the high-end tier, I'm really happy with it. It's a lot of fun. I want to get some impartial feedback from players to see how much fun / difficulty they have messing around with mana, to see if we need to make any adjustments or changes for those that aren't indoctrinated into the mechanics that I develop. Gotta keep people fresh. Gotta keep getting fresh people in to get honest takes. Like, after a while, if you fall in love with a product, and you fall in love with the designers, you can't give impartial feedback. You have to keep developing new assets, new truth sayers to you, people that aren't in love with the work that you do, that take it at its face value and its ugliness. You can potentially have that kind of a relationship with folks, but the more you have a specific person playtesting with you, the more and more they're prone to just seeing your stuff work and might not necessarily have as honest an eye. I'm going to rework these windows. They feel too cheap. And the scale of this awning is now too large, so I'm going to paint over that as well. What? There's a nitro in my morning? What's up, my guy? Unexpected. Subby! What you got going on, my day? What do you got going on today, my dude? That's what I'm trying to say. Hey, what's with the name shift? Nitrosium versus Nitroziram? What's up with that? Is there two of you? Am I being haunted by a double nitro? Proud to be my day. Cheers, buddy. I'm gonna take a sip here. What's up, Hornetico? I've got my angle here. I'm trying to change how I interact there. I sound much better. Hell yeah. I've still got. I'm still hitting the Dayquil. This is day 10 of my sick, and but yeah, it's mostly cleared itself out. I still got some congestion issues, and I'm coughing up fur balls occasionally. Case in point. But that's about how the cough sounds now. So almost cleared for my system. Thanks a lot for caring. I really appreciate it. Caring. Go figure. got sick a minute ago. Oh my god. Yeah, that's my throat got shut down too. It took me. It's seriously. It's just day 10 now, and I'm just about ready to call myself recovered. Still hitting a NyQuil at night. God, I love my NyQuil. Knockout juice, man. It's like rum on a baby's gums. Sorry. That's a running joke in my household. You shake your fists to make your body sway. So you go rum. But it's all about the rum. All about the rum. Sorry, I'm apparently inane today. Enjoy my inanity, y'all. Down on the madness. I think that feels just about right. Yeah, that is about right. That is just about right. There we go. I spy with my eyes something that is text. I see the scroll. I see the scroll. What up? Oh, yeah. Oh, my poor guy. But I had to stop it from finding a good home. It takes long to cover. Yeah, no kidding. This new wave of sickness that we got going on, it is just no joke, man. There we go. Okay, now we're back on point. Just about anyway. Let's do like this. One, two, three. Feels pretty good. I want to clip this here. Contain, contain, contain. Hey, Shiner, how you doing, my guy? Yeah, I know, it's just a room full of sickies, right? That's like Head Cold Anonymous up in here. Everyone, there's free coffee in the back. The donuts are old, but they're yours to enjoy. Oh, man, I am having a morning. I don't know, maybe I can build these out a bit more. I mean, it's not much of a view this guy's fetching over here, is it? Oh, that's a pretty keen looking spaceship you got going on there. I remember this time in 2nd edition We were playing in, I think we were playing in Forgotten Realms. I want to say we were hanging out in, no, it was Waterdeep. We were in Waterdeep. This is second edition. We had just gotten the Waterdeep box set. That Waterdeep box set back in 2E was amazing. It had these giant 4-foot maps, and absolutely every building in the city of Waterdeep had a number on it and a book. And there was a like a 96-page book for each ward, and there's like 8 wards in Waterdeep, like the Noble Ward or whatever. It just have shitloads of, just tons of map, and then have sub books for like towers and barracks, and it was the full fucking city. It was just like, I was like I want to say it was on a 10-foot square. I don't remember the scale it was, but goddamn, that was an impressive book. Just the amount of city mapping that they invested and put out there, it was just, so we made use of it. And the reason I'm making these, the reason this came to mind was because at one point the team went murder hobo almost immediately, and I decided they should start trying to heist, like rob banks in the town. And I was maybe like 15 at the time, so I didn't have nearly as good improvisational skills, or how like I didn't have detect malarkey yet, so I didn't know how to stave off this level of nightmare inside of my campaign. But murder hoboing, it's what we were doing at the time. So being on board, the team was evading the cops. And so they holed up in a hotel, and they chose a hotel, and they chose a hotel that was high enough elevation that they could see the bank from the hotel room that we're in. And they spent 3 days hiding from city guard, but deconstructed all of the wooden furniture in the building and built a ballista inside of their room. And so their plan was they'd fire the ballista with a rappelling rope attached to it. And so when it hit the roof of the bank, they could rappel over. They're 4th level. So they would rappel across the street and the cafe to get to the alleyway on the other side to land on the roof of the bank. And then they would, enact step 2. And they fired the ballista, and they rolled a natural 1 when they fired it. So they ended up spearing a constable that was actively looking for them. So they had this ward sheriff dead on with a giant ballista went through his chest with a giant rope. So everyone just followed the rope up to the room where the players were like, there they are. Oh. He died. And so that set off 20 different guards coming after the team. They ended up going down and dying. But oh my god, that was so fucking funny. It was so funny. It's like, wow, what a great timing for a natural 1. Well done, guys. It was at that point. Like, I was already in love with the hobby in general, but by God, that really just locked in. Like, it doesn't matter how much, like, how ridiculous or how shenanigan it is that the players, what their plans are. It's going to be utter chaos no matter what. And if it's a bad plan, it's going to end up blowing up in their face. Like, as a DM, that was a very powerful learning moment for me. And I became much more relaxed about what's next. Like, that was the first step to me just being completely cool with player shenanigans from then on forward. It's like, wow, justice has been served, like, on a platter. Because I was lamenting how much murder hobo they had gotten the game into. And these windows are just a little bit too cheap. So I think I'm going to back off for a minute and go back to structure and just finish off these buildings, because I can always just dot in details, pretty much any time. Oh my god. So fucking funny. Storms and heat in Australia. God, I bet that's... I bet there's really a lot of brush fire. I can imagine very, very dry air. Like, Australia always reminds me of Arizona. Shiner net that you can necessarily relate. Jeez, those natural ones, man. I tell you, there is nothing but raw magic inside of a good team. It's really neat as a DM to just watch the fates at work. Like the dice can't go wrong for the team. It's like it's a weird sort of chaos magic that like when the team gets in their groove, just the dice just automatically just work. Like it doesn't matter how stupid their plan is. If it's supposed to work, the dice will just make it happen. It's like the dice. It's just like the dice are just reinforcing that your insane idea is a good one, you know, or this is a really bad idea and you are going to roll shit no matter what. Just get on board with your fate. It's a very, it's hard to describe, but that sort of impossibility, like when I was doing playtesting for the Hex Crawl campaign that I'm developing. There's 20 different tiles, like region tiles that are used as like you know to create the terrain that the characters are moving through, like mountains and stuff like that. And I have 20 different tokens on a board, and you roll a 20-sided die, and you use the corresponding. I'm just going to call it a hex for lack of a better word. You use the corresponding hex, and then you roll a 6-sided die to rotate the hex into which position it would be facing up. And I rolled 5 18s in a row when I was layering in different tiles. And it's like if this had been a combat encounter, I would have been unstoppable. Just God of Death rolling in. And it makes me think about just how many times the players have a stupid idea in their head, but they just can't stop rolling 20s, or like they can never roll below 16. You know, and they're just going to the dice are basically just going to force whatever ideas that they have into existence. And there's some serious magic that happens with that. Like there's a lot of it just feels, you just feel unstoppable when the dice start working for you. It's like, great, what kind of progress do we want to make? Or like when the dice hate you and you're starting to recognize it, it's like, what can we do to slow the game down so that I don't have to roll any more dice today? Let's do a shopping trip, huh? You got time for a shopping trip? Shopping trip, yeah? It's like, no, your dice are shitting on you. It is time for you to enact your plan to fight the Minotaur in the dungeon. It's like, oh, no, we don't want to do that right now. Like, that's what you guys got on tap today, so let's go. I'm like, all right. TPK. Dice gods are fickle, but you gotta you know, recognize when you're in the flow with it and take your shots while they're there. Sorry, it's serious ramble mode enabled. I don't know really what I'm talking about. There's no point here. I'm just kind of bullshitting and having some giggles. You know, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't like this building. What's up? Hey, Chronic, what's up, my guy? You got here. You got here before I ended the stream. That's a rarity. Bang, 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 bang. You still got an hour. Boo-doo. So yeah, I do this Monday through Fridays in the mornings. Mondays and Thursday nights, including tonight, we do creature tokens for the Eberron adventure that is still going through edits. We're now in Act 3 of 3 in our edits. So it's looking like it's possible the edits will be done before the new year. But I'm expecting this book, the Spelljammer book, to be publishing in January, which means that we'll be able to clear this from our plate and then open up our palette for us to be able to start working on Eberron in the mornings here. I'm still working on the book cover commission for my co-writer, Andy Healy, who helped me create the Eberron adventure. And I'm hoping, though not 100% positive, that, you know what, I need to step back for a second. All right, I see it. Thank you. Here's my answer. New layer. Here. No, we want to go. Vanishing point is here. Bam. There's my line. Thank you very much. Sense of perspective. Very yes. That feels better. Ugh, that's uglier. Can knock it off. There we go. There. Why was I chasing this is? I'm sure I had a good reason. What am I talking about? I knew I had a conversation point. Oh yeah, book cover Saturday book cover. The book cover should be done. I'm hoping this Saturday will be the last stream. I'm starting to work on lettering now. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if we get done. But I'm expecting. Actually, yeah, this Saturday the 2nd. I'll be done with it by the 9th for sure. Maybe off screen, and then that'll be the last commission project that I'll be working on for the year. And so from there, my Saturday mornings are going to shift to the development of the hex crawl testing that we're going to do. So you're going to see a shift on Saturday mornings here pretty soon. Maybe I want to lean into this roof idea here. Actually, I think I do. I think I do. There we go. So we'll put a rooftop on here. But yeah, Saturday mornings, my commission day is I have the freedom to work on whatever it is that I want on that day. That's my bonus time for fill day. Me pursuing my passions outside of any specific project, or to help reinforce a project if I'm working on one. I might just start working on mecha and the Spirit Warrior stuff for the Spelljammer supplement, because we have the fighter craft in here, and the only difference between a fighter craft and a mecha is that our fighter craft are bug, insect, and bird shaped, as opposed to people shaped. So once we start making people shaped fighter craft, we are actually making mecha, like Escaflowne, Evangelion, Gundam, Robotech, that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of interest online for 5e mecha, and of course the mechanics that we have for the supplement use 5e action economy to operate and battle with ships. So it'll be really, really, really easy for us to be able to move from Spelljammer into mecha combat. No, no additional rules required. This will have it all covered for you, which is fucking awesome. I spy with my eye more text. What's up? Hold on. Hey. Good, man. Converted it into an easy understandable. Right on. You've been working on that for months, man. Glad to see you're still pushing on. Yeah, mechanics design is no joke, man. There's a lot of... Ooh, I see it now. Thank you, Muse. I see you. I see you. I see you. Now, there we go. Nice. No. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. This is pod racing. There, I'm much happier with his architecture. This is starting to feel pretty cool. Joe Higashi feeling pretty uncool. I don't know if any of you guys are old 1990s anime enthusiasts or not, but I recently rewatched Fatal Fury, the motion picture, and it's just a good piece of anime. And the tropes are still feel fresh 30 years ago. It's funny. It's anime was really in a good space in the 90s. Loved Fatal Fury. Wasn't as much of a fan of the video game. I was more of a Killer Instinct and Samurai Showdown sort of guy. But I had Street Fighter roots. But King of Fighters. Fatal Fury came from King of Fighters, which is a Neo Geo game, which also did Samurai Showdown. I just never got into. It felt the combos didn't feel. It was a very different system. I don't remember the mechanics very well, but it was a very, very different video game fighter style than than Street Fighter. So I just could never really get into the groove of it. But the anime were awesome. I love the characters. Of one without the other. Love this song. Yes, SNK. That's correct. I'm pretty sure it was SNK. I think Neo Geo was all SNK games. Reserving the right to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Neo Geo was neat. It was an arcade stand and it had like two to four different games in it. So you'd select which game you wanted to play when you drop your quarter in, and then you go through the normal player process. But yeah, Neo Geo was an interesting solution to be able to provide multiple games with one what's the word that they use for the machine? It's a machine. I can't remember the word. There's like a term. Not like this. Too late. There, that's starting to look pretty good. Starting to look pretty good over here. Yeah, let's do that. Is this the proper course of action? Could it be that piracy is the proper course of action? Yar. There you go. In here for now. Hey there, Timely Timer. Thanks for keeping time. I'm going to take another sip of coffee to make sure I stay awake. Ah, the taste of flavor. Here. There. Hell yeah. Erase. There we go. Nah, this building's starting to really shape up. I'm very, very happy. Very, very, very happy. Extend out that roof a bit. Gazebify Mother Hubbard. There we go. Okay, so spoiler alerts for people that care about Light as Araxis in 3, 2, 1. All right, so during the in the second, like in transition to the 4th chapter, I think the team runs across space pirates and or vampirates, as it were, and on the vampirate vessel, there's a ghost named Agony that is haunting the ghost ship that the vampirates are adventuring on, for lack of a better word. I guess adventuring will qualify here. And my thought was, someone was asking this in Reddit last night, so I like going to the R subreddit for Spelljammer, Light as Araxis, as well as Spelljammer 5e. Those are the 3 main Spelljammer subreddits that I haunt on Reddit. I'm not a huge Reddit enthusiast, but it's a pretty good place to go for specific, like, fanboying on specific campaigns or settings, different adventures. Yeah, I think I'm okay with. Hold on. Make sure I got my lateral angles here set up properly before I start ranting too hard and jump onto autopilot with bad math. Hold on. Yeah, so there's vampirates possessing ghost spirit thing. My thought was, instead of the ghost possessing the ship, the ghost possesses the helm, and then the vampirates take the helm and put it on another person's ship, and when it attaches and they disable the original spelljamming helm and put their haunted helm on, and so then the ghost's name, I think her name is Agony, but then the ghost possessing the helm starts to then possess the ship, so they can just steal the ship by selectively possessing it with a haunted helm, and then then the ship just flies away under Agony's control, and I like that a lot. I think that's a lot of fun. And that's as far as that story apparently was going to go. So cheers. But, oh yeah, that'd be a fun little, like, 2-3 page document thing to build about possessing ships and stealing them with haunted helms. Not 100% on season anymore, but it's a neat idea nonetheless. Hey, what's up? Yeah, right on. Yeah, you can exploit the ghost since she's bound to the helm that she died on. You can use that as a hook to either help free her, and good job, you freed. Like if your ship gets stolen, it's like, hey, what's going on with that? It's like, well, here's that whole vampire situation, and here's that possessed helm idea, and so the team can then either free the ghost or exploit it. The vampirates are currently exploiting Agony, using her circumstances to their advantage. Having a ghost piloting your ship is just about as good as having the Trent that you grow your ship from be the pilot as well. I think Trents make great ships. The living ship idea that they have in 5e, that is to me chef's kiss. That is a great idea, amazing flavor. And of course, the way that we rebuild how spelljamming, like the criteria to pilot, is basically anyone can do it. You don't have to be a spellcaster, just as long as you can maintain concentration on the helm, or focus as we call it, a reduced, like a very simplified version of concentration. So you can concentrate on multiple things at a time by maintaining focus on the things that you have. Like when you cast a spell and you're maintaining concentration on it, that's also treated as focusing on the spell, but you can also focus on the helm while you're maintaining concentration on a spell. So it's designed to work similarly, but without getting in the way of itself. So you can do multiple things to make use of your action economy more effectively. But yeah, Trent growing a ship around himself. That gives the Trent the ability to basically fly between worlds. So you put a helm on it, then let the roots grow around it, and then pull the helm into the body of the ship, so that only the Trent can control it. Like a young Trent. God, this is giving me such Farscape vibes. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the show Farscape that used to be on Sci-Fi. That was an excellent sci-fi show. I fucking love Farscape. But they had living ships on there as well, and it was they were all like transport or cargo ships. It was illegal to weaponize living ships because they were their own creature. They were intelligent creatures. They had their own free will. And then one of the major spoiler alerts for people that haven't seen Farscape, one of the side plot lines was a military scientist was violating law and experimenting on breeding the Leviathan living ships with the fighter craft that their Legion has, the Prowlers. They called them Prowlers. They were pretty cool fighter ships. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool designs. I like them. But it was successful. So Moya, the living ship that was part of the cast of the show, gave birth to Talon, and Talon was the first hybrid Leviathan living ship, and it had weapon systems. It was a child, so it had temper tantrums like a child, but it had all these really dangerous weapons. So that is absolutely, this is not Disney. We are not going to keep that. Immediately regret my decisions. There we go. Get rid of that. That is not going to jive in the long term. Here we go. But yeah, living ships, the same thought. So I'm looking at these living ships that Wizards put in the Spelljammer book, that they're basically transfused to ships. It's like, well, if the Trent grows that ship and pulls the helm into its heart, it can't be controlled by anyone else. It would always be free. So if there were a colony of Trent ships that drifted between the realms, a poacher might enslave a Trent by boarding the ship and literally digging out its heart where the helm is at, and then taking control of the helm, and then imprisoning the Trent. So I'm kind of having this idea about fleshing out that space, like those spacefaring Trents that can literally live forever in their ship. Like, you'll see a ship that's overpruned. It's just like a giant sphere of plant life that's completely filled in its air supply. And it would basically be like a Groot shell, with the characters inside of it, if it's overgrown. But they would be able to origami, hack away, and carve out the space inside of there to be able to build, the ship that they want. But I like to think about the crystal ships that the elves have, like the Man of War, or like the Star Moth and the Flitters and the Armada class butterfly ships, being similar, that they're actually just like dryads, like having a dryad bound to a tree that you build into a ship that has the same effect as a ghost possessing your ship, or a Trant growing its ship. It's you bind the living tree to a creature that's capable of interacting with it. Didn't watch it. The Wraith of the Stargate Atlantis series could have been a living ship, as they were constructed over again. Oh yeah. I like that era. I like that. I like those seasons of Stargate. The Wraith were cool. The Claudia Black and Brim Browder on SG1 was I think a good improvement. Oh yeah. The Wraith were that's right. Stargate Atlantis, the offshoot that wasn't. Tulk eventually ended up over there, right? He was the only one to hop over. Was it Tulk? It's been a long time since I've watched Atlantis. I liked SG Galaxies. That was super cool. It's a shame that didn't get to play out as much as I'm sure they wanted it to. All right, I think I'm doing pretty good here on this building. God damn, that's some good architecture, man. Suddenly very happy with this piece. Let's get into physical. Let me hear your buddy talk. I want to get animal. I want to get animal. Let's get into animal. Sorry, quotes of Olivia Newton-John there for y'all. Let's get into animal. I remember being 13 years old at the local videos to go store, the mom and pop Blockbuster video store that was in our neighborhood. It was called Videos to Go. It wasn't Blockbuster. It was Videos to Go. But I remember when I think I was 13, and hearing Olivia Newton-John's Physical on the radio that was playing in the store. And that was the first moment that really sunk in about how music changes over time. It's like I hadn't heard that song on the radio for years, and there was all this other music that I was listening to and falling in love with. But it's like, oh yeah, I remember that song, and that was the first instance of me acknowledging that there's pop music turnover. I just forgotten about it, never really considered it. But it's like, oh, that song's not popular anymore. That's why you never hear it now. And that was the first time that I recognized that radio plays music that's popular to get people to listen to them so they can sell advertising. And then I think we rented Mad Max or something. But God, I used to have dreams about that video store. Like finding all sorts of weird, old, eclectic videos and stuff that I had seen as a little kid, like appearing in the video store. There must have been something weird going on with that place. It resonated with me in just odd ways. I heard the best quote the other day from Alan Watts, and it was, "Don't mistake symbolism for reality." Because everyone has their own personal symbolism of their own numerology or their own like little symbols that let people know where they're at, what they're doing, like our own acknowledgement system, right? Like me, it's 11:11. I look over at the clock and it's not unusual for it to be 11:11 on a lark. I know I have a ticking calendar or my own internal clock, and I'm also I know that I've honed it because of busing and stuff like that. I've got a pretty good sense of timing. And I think it's not so much coincidence that I look over and I so often will see 11:11 on the clock when I do so. It's I think it's more that my body is aware of time, and it chooses to direct my attention when it knows it's 11:11. As a sort of false prophecy, like I'm manufacturing my own prophecy by when I look over and think something special is happening when it's 11:11. I think there is something special happening, and I think what it is that I'm supposed to be receiving some sort of reassurance from the universe that it knows exactly what it's doing and it's doing it through me, but as opposed to something external that I'm being privileged to, you know, like. If I'm right about my body having that precision of timing to be able to direct my attention to the clock when it knows it's 11:11 without having first affirmation to then, like, it's not like it turns off my brain, goes and checks the clock, and then comes back and is like, okay, great. Well, we'll wake him up like in 2 minutes. I don't think it works that way. I think we all just have awareness, like a lot more awareness of what our reality is than what we let ourselves on knowing, so that we can fabricate the mystery, you know, fabricate the miracles for ourselves. But we know it's coming. That's an odd rant, but it's mine. And this has got a weird bend to it. So I gotta straighten you out. Oof. I feel like I've got a weird bend going on here. Let's touch grass real quick. Actually, let's go touch the sun. Aha! I was right. There was a weird bend. Gritty bits. I got some gritty bits here on the ground now. Gritty bits. They're all the gritty bits on the ground that you can find. Gritty bits. Go gritty bits. Brett. Oh god, no, that's way fucking wrong. There. Better. Gritty bits. There. Good. Fuck, that looks good. Text. Yeah, you're probably right, Karen. Speaking of timing, how are we doing? Oh god, it's only 7:20. We still got 40 minutes. Love that timer. Pastureland? I think that'd be more of an interior thing. So, I mean, this is just the edge of the world. I think this is more of a commerce district. I think there'd be a lot of flitter and shuttle work here. So, I think there could be some value to stables. Like this is like this platform here, this self-contained space. It leads to a ramp down here, which leads to a ramp here to here, and then there's another ramp down over here or move over here. Like there's not a lot of room for horses and carts to move around. I think along this edge, like this edge of the world, I think it's highly dependent on skiffs and freighter craft. Basically moving supplies from one platform to another. You got the river system down below. There should be a really vibrant boating community. I mean, all these are built along this artificial river that they created. It seems like there would be a lot of dock work. You know, like I should probably put some cranes on the edges, like a crane here or like a crane here, things that can easily move a large portion, like a lot of material from the water line up to these platforms. It's a fantasy setting, so it doesn't necessarily have to follow all the laws of logic. You need enough rules of logic so that when people look at stuff, it clicks in their head, oh yeah, this is something that can happen. Heroic community specifically for stone, mineral, etc. No animal here. Maybe further down. Yeah, well, there's a lot of interior space here that goes off screen, but it's potentially really thick. This is just the outer rim, like where the rubber meets the road, sort of, you know, edge of the world. That's where you get the cool narrative. But if you go further inland, the more and more you move inland. Like you've got your hills and stuff like that. Like you're here inside, and then you have a planet that's basically looming in the background. But this could be like 100 miles in from the edge of the world in the what would that be called? Mid-ring. Like the Midwest, like Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska is like the Midwest in America. I don't know. I don't know how to express that. I like this sketch though. Huh. Suddenly in love with whatever this thing's got going on. I am literally gonna snapshot this. Give me the thing. No. Oh my god, get out of my life, Edge. Nobody wants you in their life. Go away. Why is my button not working? fuck off. What is going on with my mouse? There we go. I see an opportunity here for this to become a thing. So I'm just going to pluck that out of the way and leave it alone. Thank you. Oh, is that what was going on? I had a pop-up? Oh, screw you, pop-ups. Thanks. Where's my... I'm out of sequence. Hold on. Here to here. There we go. I can get rid of that. Mid-ring. Maybe that like mid-ring farmland, like away from the edges. I think we'd see a lot of, yeah, I think there could be more cultivation in there. Let's stay. I'm liking where we're thinking at. I want to push back a bit here. You know what? I can do this better. Let's do it like this. This is the last significant, like, high detailed painting that we need. We have some gunners, we have some planets and system illustrations to do. We have I think one more ship combat picture to make, but it's like an 8th page, I think, so it's really small. It's a quarter page. Yeah, we have a quarter page after this one, and then the rest of it's just landscape stuff, which should move pretty quickly. We may be done with all these illustrations. Maybe by Christmas. I suspect, yeah. I am tentatively looking at illustrations being done by Christmas, which will give us a few weeks to do brush ups and then any kind of, like, any spot art opportunity, but then we'd be able to start dropping images into the Word document to fuse it shut. I have a lot of hyperlinking I need to do inside of the documents, which isn't sexy artwork at all. It's just clicking buttons and a lot of scrolling. Click, scroll, click, scroll. Linking, you know, for more information, for more details, see the ship combat section, or like see the siege weapon section, or see the spellcasting section. Like a lot of, I do a lot of self-referencing inside of my documents to help steer you around the different things that the different topics of conversation, whether they may be on the page that we're working on. They're often referring to stuff on other pages, like go check this out over here, blah, that sort of thing. So there's like maybe like 125 hyperlinks that I need to string inside of the book. So that'll be obnoxious, but it's got to get done. Here, 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 here. Civil War. I have all these tokens for the ships, and I kind of want to do a spec sheet for each one of them. You know, because we've added a lot of weapon system options in Spelljammer. It'd be kind of nice to have like a schematic readout of each ship, like, and have like little prongs pointing to, like, here's the different melee weapons they have, and like over here, like, here's the different siege, like ranged siege weapons that they have, and here's where the helm is at, like little arrows and stuff pointing to the ship to help codify what weapons and landing gear and stuff like that are present on the ships. It's a thought I'm having. It would add time, so I'm not 100% on board with it yet. I'm looking at the size of this versus that. Feels pretty good. But I'm going to finish what we have on hand, and I could always add schematics later. Like I could do one a day and then slowly add them to the folder as additional bonus content, I guess. Don't know, not there yet. Not there yet. Yeah, that was wrong. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Bisect. Thirds. Fourths. Good to go. There we go. Very good. Very good. No, no, no. Nope, that was the wrong way to do it. Let's do it this way. There we go. Better. I'm not winning any rewards with these windows, I can tell, but whoa, whoa, whoa. Straighten out, fly right, Gurney. There. Getting caught up on the new season of Invincible. That is enjoyable. Good. I know it's a little cheap, but I'm not feeling compelled to go all in on making these windows ornate. No, I'm going to just not. I'm going to just not. I don't think I have to have windows there. I can just be content with this. There, be content. And then ba-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Here. Here. There we go. Good enough. Let's take this. I spy with my eyes. Something that's tax. Hey, what's up? This could be a warehouse. That's just the buddies would not be his. Yeah. Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Karen. Ooh. There we go. Like that. Da-da-da. Brush that in. Let's fuse these things together. Merge down. Fancier. Let's do that. Let's keep going with this block and cut method. Block it in, cut it out. Cut it out. Itchy nose. Kind of quiet this morning. Sorry about that, guys. No, no, I don't think I want that. I think I want just a window. Oh, that makes sense. No, wait. There. There. Better. There. Hey, timely timer. I think that means we're on our last 20-minute stretch. Yeah, last 20 minutes for the day. Making good progress here. I'm happy. Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call that building done. Not sure. I'm thinking like a gazebo or something up front. Like I want to have some flat terrain here to make this more stable, but I want to keep the ship on raw tarmac because its weight would be damaging to like any kind of a wooden deck, or it'd be difficult to like work stone would get roughed up really quickly from the landing gear on ships. So I want to have a grassy place for this thing to land. That's a good point. That's a really, really good point. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's create a new layer before I go mucking up the architecture of stuff. Look at those lines, man. That's good. That is pretty fucking good. Little parking spaces for ships. That makes sense to me. Like the little 15-foot skiffs. Like this, if this is a 5-foot doorway, right? It's gonna be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This is like a 25 by 25 foot space. So most of the skiff, like the non-combat skiffs, like the light transports, they would easily fit inside of these spaces. And actually having these, oh god, that actually makes a lot of sense. Here, like that. To your point, Karen. There might not be a high demand for horses in this area, but having a place to stable your ship is important. How about this for cheeky fun? Hold on. The Noble, number 2. And the reason it's called Noble is because when you have number 2, you sit on your throne. Humor. Backwards. Also backwards. Scheiße. Fuck all. There by grace I go. Bah, 8. Let's give it a squitch. A little sloppy. See if we can neat that up a bit. Oh my god, the malarkey. Come on. My efforts to make this more clean has only been wrought with peril. There. You can see me a face leaning in. It means I'm trying to concentrate. We can make a landing pad here and have a smaller craft on here. A little craft here and there. What's going on with you, my blue? That explains a lot. There we go. There. There. Let's make sure my lines are on point. Oh, God, look at that. Those things are on point. This one might be off, though. A little off. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like that. There we go. I imagine a communal dormitory style of living for a lot of the residents. For those that can't afford their own property, you know. Yeah, I just don't need that. Oh yeah, it's 54. Okay, that's probably time. Yeah, I'm happy with these little number pads. I am going to, when we come back, I feel like I need to make these a little bit smaller. Cool. All right, cool. That feels pretty good. Pads. And then we can drop this a little bit into the terrain. Okay, cool. So next step is going to be treating over here the same as over here. We got a really good template going over here. I like these styles. There's a lot less buildings over here. So I'm going to work on some of this tonight. We're also going to do some Eberron tonight. In about 11 hours, I'll be back on doing Eberron. Between then and now, I'm hoping I can get knocked down some of this far right architecture to get it lining up in the same level of quality and perspective that we have good going over here. Once we do that, we have this front little thing that we need to resolve, and then we got a bunch of work to do on these trees to increase the variety and realism of those. And then we need to finish fleshing out this front lodge, this foreground dead tree, get this gazebo up, and then a landing pad over here for a smaller size ship, and then complete that. Fuck all, we got a lot to do. This is I think the most involved. I think this is the most involved piece in the entire book. Rivaling the cover. So this is a hard deep pass, and I'm okay with it. Good piece. I'm happy with it though. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. It's worth the time. The skills that I'm accumulating, and the sense of space and size and perspective and proportion and minimal design. Like, those look good. Those look perfectly fine at a scale of distance that's probably, I mean, like, if you're a normal reader, like with normal vision, this is probably where you're coming in at. So I need to make sure I get some better highlights in here. But I like it. I like the piece. I like what we got going on. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to have to drop out of here in about a minute anyway. Yeah, I got less than a minute on my timer. So I'm going to kill my timer. That's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for showing up, everybody. Really appreciate it. And this has been a ton of fun. So I will see you. Hey, Zona. So I'm going to see everybody on the other side. If you're new to the stream, we do this 6 days a week. It just depends on what project we're working on in mornings, evenings, and afternoons. I'll be back tonight at 7 and 11 hours. I'll be back again tomorrow morning to continue this work. I'll also have more martial powers development at lunch tomorrow. And then I'll be offline Friday night, and I'll be back Saturday morning to continue work on the book cover we got commissioned to do. I take Sundays off as my day of rest and time with my family. And then we'll be back on Monday morning doing more, hopefully different ship art or whatever for Spelljammer. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I'll see y'all on the other side. Cheers.